Hi everybody, welcome back to Hannah's Decodes. I'm sorry I missed last week again. I think I wasn't 100% and I'm being really busy as well. So I thought I'd start off. I can't remember if I shared with you guys a dream I had a couple of weeks ago. And when I was younger, I used to have really vivid, interesting dreams, flying and swimming with dolphins and stuff like that. And as I've got older, it's harder. Maybe I still have them, but it's harder for me to remember. So I had this great dream a couple of weeks ago, and I was somewhere I didn't recognize, but it felt like it was kind of near a coastal ocean pool. We have ocean pools in Australia that sort of sit on a beach, and you get the tidal water coming in, and you can swim in them and whatever, and they're sort of made of concrete and rocks and stuff. So anyway, it seems like it was somewhere like that, and in front of me was this funny little animal, and it looked like a baby elephant, and I was like, what is that animal? And I was looking and I was trying to work it out, and then I sort of moved closer and I turned around, and it was like a little baby elephant, probably the size of a big dog, and it had a little, its face had a beak and little pointy ears. And I was like, what is this animal? This is amazing. And a voice in my head said, it's Chimera Elephante. I was like, wow, this is amazing. And this elephant, this Chimera Elephante, put its front leg out, and I touched its foot, and then it came up, and it was sort of like its beak was sort of nibbling, like gently, a friendly way, nibbling my hand. And I was just sort of amazed, and I just thought, in the past I've had another dream about a white baby elephant, where it was outside my kids' primary school. This is a long time ago, and I was like, wow, what am I going to do? And I drove past, and so I thought I better stop and see if I can help this little baby elephant. And it was like, how do I get it somewhere where I can find it food? And the next sort of scene in my dream was me with a huge, like bowling, what you put your bowling balls in. I've never been, had a bowling ball bag, but it was something like that, with this huge bag with this baby elephant in it. And I'm there at some kind of fair or like a show. We have an Easter show here in the country and in the cities where people show their best animals and chickens and stuff. So it was somewhere like that in the country with this baby elephant trying to find a cow so it could have some milk. Anyway, so I feel like when I have lots of elephants around my house, little ornamental elephants. So I've got a thing for elephants. And when I was in my early 20s, I went to India with my husband, and there were elephants that were unfortunately used for carrying things, but we were in a river and the elephants were swimming as well. And it was kind of like that sort of in awe, but a little bit frightened because they're so big, and they weren't, they could have just come up and done whatever they wanted. Anyway, so yeah, I've got a bit of a thing for elephants. So that's my Chimera Elephante dream. I thought I'd share with you just because it was lovely. It was really interesting and good fun. And I could feel in my dream, it was like, oh, this is such a privilege to finally meet a Chimera Elephante. So anyway, okay, so I thought I'd do these cards again. And I keep saying this, just the more like simple tools you can have just to get through this funny time in the world is really important. And these are so simple, and they're, and if you sort of breathe into these mudras, these different hand positions, you have these great tools. So this is, again, Gertrude Hirschi, Hirschi, mudras, and it's a little pack of cards. So we're going to do that again, and we'll just feel into it for a couple of minutes. So I'm just going to shuffle and do a random pick. And they're upside down. So do a little bit of a shuffle, 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 shuffle. Okay, and I'll just open it up. So we'll do whatever one comes. Wow. Longing. Welcome your yearning. So it's quite nice. And I actually took there's some of the cards that we've already done out, so I wouldn't pick them. Longing, welcome your yearning. So that's the picture. So I'm going to have a little, usually I look at the hand positions before and work them out so I know what I'm doing when I come on. Okay, so it's Navan Mudra. The spiral mudra strengthens the vegetative nervous system and activates the production of feel-good hormones. The wrists are crossed over and round each other. The little finger, ring finger, and middle finger are interlocked. See yourself sitting on a spiral which extends deep into the ground below you and up into the infinity of the sky. If you let yourself slide down it, life seems to be without sense or meaning. So instead, you move up the spiral, knowing that there are other worlds, powers, and secrets beyond that which we can see. You yield up your longing and yourself to the higher powers and sing. And the mantra is beyond the furthest limits, I find light and bliss. Wow, well, that's a really nice one. Okay, so I've got to work this out. So see yourself, so okay, spiral, so the wrists are crossed over around each other. The little finger, ring finger, and middle finger are interlocked. Okay, so I've got that. So I think you go like this finger, and this finger are interlocked together, and then it's almost like I think these two, the thumb and the pointer finger are that, but you twist your wrists. You twist your wrists like that. Hang on, maybe I can do it like, my goodness. So you twist your wrists like that. So first of all, twist your hands and then interlock your fingers. And for some people who might have wrist things or problems, a bit like me, I've got a funny old wrist, it could be a bit tricky. So I imagine you just place it near your heart. So have a little go. I'll show the card again at the end, or pause go back and pause at the card with a picture so you can get a sense. Okay, so just doing some nice deep belly breaths gently. And I think this is, just gently remind yourself, this is about, to me it sounded like accessing other dimensions, higher consciousness. So just keep that gently in mind while you're breathing into this, and perhaps see yourself spiraling up to these other places of consciousness. Okay, so just pause there if you'd like to continue. When I was doing that, I reminded me, because I did this sort of spiraling up to what I thought might be a higher consciousness, and it reminded me a little bit of course I did many, many years ago, theta healing or theta healing, Theta healing, and that was accessing sort of higher states of consciousness and the theta state of consciousness. So it's, yeah, sort of remind me of that, like going almost up into that pineal gland area, and where you can sort of, I'm trying to think of the right word, where you can push your desired reality out a bit, that kind of thing, whether it's healing or different, your lifestyle and stuff like that. So I thought it was really interesting. So I think that's it, and I'm hoping I'll be here next week. Looking forward. At the moment, I don't think there's anything on, and I'm gradually recovering from this coldy thing that I had a few weeks ago, and then I came back a little bit, and anyway, so I don't know what's going on. But anyway, if you'd like to, please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks guys, bye.